Hey, you can now pre-order my book Unlearn right now and win a chance to hang out with me, and we'll do all types of fun things. Go to humblethepoet.com/unlearn. I got 10 years to fill a stadium, but only 2 minutes to fill your cranium. Humble the Poet, signing in. I think everybody should go see a therapist. I think everybody should see a therapist the same way everyone should see a doctor, the same way everybody should be working out. A therapist is somebody who is trained, who has enough experience and insight and understanding to help you gain clarity in your thoughts and in your decisions and discovering patterns in the things that you do. So if you have access to a therapist, if your school has therapy services, you should definitely utilize them. It can get pricey, but I'm not sure what is more valuable in your life than your state of mental well-being. I think opening the lines of dialogue with anybody is better than shutting yourself off to everybody, but definitely working with a professional once you're in a position to do so. Again, I think it's about figuring out where you're at, where you want to be, and who you can speak to about that. I had a friend who was struggling with alcoholism, and he had to go to therapy for about 2 years, and that helped him, and now he's been sober for 3 years. And that also set him on a journey to really better understand his own behaviors and who he was. And that made him actually reconnect with a father he never knew, connect with a whole side of the family he's never met, because he wanted to better understand his own patterns. And from that, not only did he let go of this disease, he was also enhancing his life by increasing his family.
Have you ever seen a therapist?
I haven't seen a therapist. I have nothing against therapy. I think for me the challenge is the scheduling, but I am actively looking to seek out therapy. Not for anything specific. I'm actually in a really good place and I'm super grateful for that, but I want to better understand my ideas. I would better want to understand where I'm at. I want to better understand how my childhood impacted the person I am today. But I do have friends in the space, specifically Katie Morton. She's one of my homies and she's really kind of helped me focus on the importance of mental health. She's actually written a book. I want you guys to see it. It's a book called Are You Okay? Please check this out on Amazon by Katie Morton. And it's actually about the process of finding a therapist. And you read it? What do you think?
Good.
Give it one more sentence.
It gave me a lot of insight, and I will be looking for a therapist. So Katie Morton, if you'd like to be my therapist, call me at 416.
Stop.
Katie Morton lives in California, so she cannot be your therapist, but shout outs to Katie, because Katie was also the first person to make the first introduction to help me figure out how to bring my book to life. So not only am I very excited and proud of her for having her book, she was also very instrumental in me getting my book to life.
Do you think there are other reasons why people may not want to go find a therapist?
I think there's a lot of stigma around therapy. I think people think you have to go to therapy when, something's wrong with you. It's kind of like people don't go to the doctor until they're sick. The best doctors in the world are the ones that teach you preventative measures so you don't get sick and you don't have to see them. Taking it upon ourselves to go see somebody or do things to enhance our mental health is a better thing to do. No different than when Lily took a break off social media and posting videos on YouTube. She didn't take a break because she was suffering something critical in her mental health. She took a break before she got to that point. And I think that's the important thing. So it's kind of like see a therapist before you need to see a therapist. And maybe that therapist will provide you with some insights, tools, understandings, and clarity that'll help prevent you from getting to a point where, the weight on your mental is too much for you to bear.
What are 3 steps people can take on their own to benefit their mental health?
I think step number 1 is limit your social media. These short, quick doses of content are not good for you. Try to go for longer content. So by longer content, I mean like reading a book, watching a long movie, instead of just flicking through your thumb and watching 5-second videos and just continually giving these little micro doses of dopamine to yourself. The people you hang out with is extremely important. I'm not going to say people are toxic, but people can make toxic choices. And if being around certain people just don't make you feel good about yourself, then limit how often you're around them. If you're aware that you're not feeling good about who you are as a person around certain people, then instead of changing who you are, start changing those people. And I also feel that the food you eat, the food you eat makes a difference. If you eat a lot of breads, potatoes, and heavy food, starchy foods, it actually makes you feel a lot tired and lethargic. That might hurt your ability to get some of your work done, and then you don't get your work done, then you start beating yourself up for not getting that work done, and then it becomes a downward spiral.
Do you have any closing thoughts?
I can tell you a million stories about a million different people who live lives that we all think are fantastic, who are struggling with mental health issues. And the reason is they may have had that magical ability to manifest whatever they wanted in life. So if they wanted a Ferrari, they were able to work and get a Ferrari. They wanted to be famous, they were able to work and get famous. But the reason they were doing all of this is they thought that that was going to make them feel better. They thought having $1 million was going to make them feel better. They thought having 1 million followers was going to make them feel better. They thought having nice things was going to make them feel better. People's respect was going to make them feel better. Only to realize that once they got there, that yeah, it made them feel good for a couple of hours, couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks, but then it faded away. And that empty promise actually sunk them even lower in their mental health. And I see it all the time. I even see it with my friends who create content for a living. They understand that they're part of this lie on Instagram or on Facebook. They only put their best self forward, and they know that, you know, behind the scenes it's a whole bunch of mess going on. But they forget that when they look at other people's stuff. So be like, oh, look how happy so-and-so is looking on Instagram. It's such a really morbid situation that we're in, where we're all in on the lie, but we all forget that everybody else is lying with us. I really want to address that very heavily because I want people to realize that nobody really has it better than you. I've met billionaires, millionaires, models. Most of them are dealing with almost the exact same shit that the rest of us are dealing with. And chasing something on the outside will not make you feel better on the inside. So if you want to feel better on the inside, focus on your inside. Focus on your feelings. Focus on your self-awareness. The better you know yourself, the better you are equipped to help yourself and understand the things around you that are hurting you more than helping you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Make sure you click on that little bell so you get notifications when the next video comes. I'm having fun doing these. Also, please remember, you can pre-order my book now at humblethepoet.com/unlearn. Tell a friend. Please share this video with people that you care about and people that you don't. Much love.